thousands of years ago, before the rise of great kingdoms and mighty empires, before towering cities covered the earth, the world had become a place consumed by darkness. Violence spread across the land like wildfire. Hatred filled human hearts. Greed, corruption, and cruelty ruled over humanity, and people no longer cared about goodness, mercy, or God. Every day, the earth grew colder, not in weather, but in spirit. The cries of suffering echoed through cities and villages while mankind sank deeper into wickedness. But among millions of people living in that broken world, there was one man who was different. One man who still walked with God. His name was Noah, and soon God would ask him to do something so impossible, so unbelievable, that it would change the history of humanity forever. Imagine standing under a silent sky while the world around you laughs in your face. Imagine spending years building a gigantic ark on dry land while people mock you, insult you, and call you mad. Imagine watching thousands of animals emerge from forests, deserts, and mountains, walking peacefully toward a wooden vessel built by faith alone. And then imagine hearing the very first drop of rain. The story of Noah's Ark is not only a story about destruction. It is a story about faith in the middle of hopelessness, obedience in the face of ridicule, and hope surviving the greatest storm the world has ever seen. In those ancient days, humanity had completely turned away from God. People lived only for themselves. Violence became normal. The strong oppressed the weak, and evil filled nearly every corner of the earth. Families were broken. Bloodshed became common. Pride ruled over the hearts of men. The beauty of creation had been buried beneath corruption and sin. God looked upon the world he had created and saw the darkness that consumed it. Humanity had become lost. Every thought in the hearts of men seemed filled with evil continually. And seeing the suffering and wickedness spreading across the earth, God decided that judgment would come. But Noah found favor in the eyes of God. Unlike everyone around him, Noah remained faithful. He lived with integrity and obedience. Even while surrounded by corruption, he continued to trust God. While others laughed at righteousness, Noah still chose goodness. And because of his faithfulness, God chose him for a divine mission unlike anything ever seen before. One day, God spoke to Noah. The warning was terrifying. A great flood would cover the earth. Waters would rise over mountains and valleys. Every living thing outside of God's protection would perish beneath the storm. The world as humanity knew it would disappear. But God also gave Noah a path to salvation. He commanded Noah to build an enormous ark from gopher wood. The vessel would need to be massive, strong enough to survive the violent waters that were coming. God gave Noah detailed instructions for every part of the ark: its length, width, height, rooms, doors, and coverings. Every measurement mattered. The task must have seemed impossible. Noah had never seen anything like the coming flood. In some traditions, rain itself may have been unfamiliar on such a scale. Yet Noah did not question God. He obeyed. And so the work began. Under the heat of the blazing sun, Noah cut enormous trees and shaped massive beams of wood. Day after day, year after year, the ark slowly rose above the land. The sound of hammering echoed endlessly through the fields as Noah and his family worked tirelessly. Meanwhile, people watched. First, they were confused. Then came the laughter. Crowds gathered to mock the strange old man building a gigantic ship far from any sea. They called him foolish. Some believed he had lost his mind. Others insulted him openly, mocking his warnings about judgment and destruction. But Noah continued building. Every strike of the hammer became an act of faith. Years passed. The ark grew larger and larger until it towered over the land like a silent warning from heaven itself. Yet still, humanity refused to listen. Then one day, something extraordinary began to happen. Animals appeared. From every direction of the earth, creatures great and small began moving toward the ark. Birds filled the skies. Deer emerged from forests. Lions walked across the plains. Elephants marched slowly across the earth with thunderous steps. Wolves, horses, bears, rabbits, and countless other animals came together peacefully. Two by two, they entered the ark. The sight must have been beyond imagination. The same people who once mocked Noah now watched in fear and confusion as the impossible unfolded before their eyes. Then God told Noah it was time. Noah entered the ark with his wife, his sons, and their wives. The animals settled into their places within the enormous vessel. And then the doors closed, not by human hands, but by God himself. For a brief moment, silence filled the world. Then came the rain. At first, only a few drops fell from the darkening sky. But soon the heavens opened completely. Thunder shook the earth. Lightning tore across the sky. Winds screamed through the land with terrifying force as endless rain poured down upon the world. Water burst from beneath the ground while the skies unleashed an unstoppable storm. The flood had begun. Rivers overflowed within hours. Fields disappeared beneath rising waters. Villages vanished. Entire cities were swallowed by the flood as panic spread across humanity. People ran desperately for safety. The same voices that once mocked Noah were now filled with terror. But it was too late. The rain continued without stopping. Day after day, night after night. For 40 days and 40 nights, the storm raged with unimaginable power. Massive waves crashed across the earth. Mountains slowly disappeared beneath the rising waters until nothing remained except the endless ocean and the ark floating upon it. Everything outside the ark was gone. Inside the ark, Noah and his family listened to the storm surrounding them. The wooden walls groaned beneath the violent winds. Animals stirred in fear while darkness covered the world outside. But even in the middle of chaos, God protected them. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. The rain finally stopped, but the waters still covered the earth completely. Silence replaced the fury of the storm. The ark drifted alone across an endless world of water beneath quiet gray skies. Then, slowly, the waters began to recede. One day, the ark came to rest upon the mountains of Ararat. Still, Noah waited patiently. He first released a raven to search for dry land, but the bird found no resting place. Later, Noah sent out a dove. The dove returned, unable to find dry ground anywhere upon the earth. Several days later, Noah released the dove once again. This time, it returned carrying a freshly plucked olive leaf in its beak. At that moment, hope entered the ark once more. Life was returning. The floodwaters continued to fall until finally, God spoke to Noah again. It was time to leave the ark. Slowly, the great doors opened and sunlight poured inside. Fresh air filled the ark as Noah and his family stepped onto the renewed earth. One by one, the animals emerged into the new world. Birds soared into the sky while animals ran freely across the land once again. The storm was over. Humanity had been given a new beginning. Overcome with gratitude, Noah built an altar and worshipped God, thanking him for delivering them safely through the greatest disaster the world had ever known. And then, something beautiful appeared in the sky. A rainbow. Brilliant colors stretched across the heavens as God made a covenant with Noah and with all life on earth. Never again would a flood destroy the entire world. The rainbow would remain forever as a symbol of mercy, hope, and God's promise. And so, the story of Noah's Ark became more than just a story about a flood. It became a story about faith when the world chooses darkness. A story about obedience when others refuse to believe. A story about trusting God even when surrounded by fear, doubt, and ridicule. Thousands of years later, people still remember the man who built an ark before the rain ever came. Because when the storm arrived, faith carried Noah safely through the waters. If you enjoyed this Bible story, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with others. And tell us in the comments which Bible story you would like to hear next.